ready to go on the death road!
Next country on our South America trip was Bolivia. Since we arrived from the south, our first stop was the cowboy town, Tupiza. Not a very touristy place, which was nice, and the local food was cheap and delicious. We decided to stay for a few days before heading to Uyuni, where we met these local kids. ¿Cómo se llama? Pepe. They wanted to teach us how to use our cameras. And then we were ready for a 3-day tour of the Bolivian classic, the Salt Flats. It was amazing to see how large this place actually is. After driving around for a bit, we arrived at the perfect place to take all the classic photos and video with our group. Morten took the part of the dinosaur very seriously. All the dinosaur practice finally became useful. We also tried our own thing, which almost worked out perfectly. Almost. After a bit of cardio, we made it to Isla, Incahuasi, an island in the middle of the flats where we did a nice little hike before getting into the car again. We did another stop right before sunset to improve our perspective illusions. We probably need a bit more practice. On this tour, there was a lot of driving through really cool landscapes on very bumpy roads. Throughout this trip, we stopped to check out Laguna, Colorada, the Geysers Sol de Mañana, an active volcano. Morten needed plenty of pee breaks. We saw flamingos and some vicuñas, a rock formation that made us feel like we were on a planet from Star Wars. And some big rat-looking bunny thing. After several hours on the road, we were pretty pleased to arrive at the hot spring Thermas de Polques. Not only was the water temperature perfect, we also got to hang out with the flamingos up close. Morten got some quality time with some other gringos. On our way back to Uyuni, we stopped by another cool rocky area. We did some mountain climbing after being inspired by our new Irish and Aussie friends. We finally saw some llamas, and they saw us. After this trip, we were pretty satisfied with nature and animals, so we headed towards the capital, La Paz. Hanging out here was pretty sweet, and taking the funicular was a great way to see the large city. Walking around the many markets, it was clear to see how the Bolivian Cholitas are working hard to keep this country going. During the day, they sell fruits and vegetables, but during the night, they wrestle?
Watch out!
This might be acting, but what do I know? Another thing these cholitas do is sell a bunch of weird stuff at the witch market.
Tørka llama, ja takk. Et foster der. Llama-foster.
Dried llama fetuses are supposed to be buried under new constructions for good luck. They say it's only the ones that dies out of natural causes that are used for this. And if you want to believe that, you can. In La Paz, there is a place called Valle de la Luna. If you have followed our trip up until now, you know we have seen plenty of rock formations.
Stein, stein, etter stein.
Men også fint skilt.
So when we arrived, we realized we were satisfied. Just to test the altitude, I tried running again.
Det var fett i sånn. Herregud, skulle tro jeg ikke hadde løpt en dag i mitt liv. Nå er jeg sulten.
Our Uber driver told us about a weekend barbecue happening close by, and we can always eat. Ribbe, or pork, is what we Norwegians usually eat at Christmas Eve. So next Christmas, we might invite these Bolivians to cook our dinner. Because they certainly know what they're doing. After some chill days in La Paz, we needed some action.
Oh, we are ready to go on the death road!
The internet says 200 to 300 people dies on this road every year. But they don't mention that 17 years ago a new road was built. So this road is now mostly a tourist attraction with bikers and not a 2-lane driveway. So that number is not very accurate anymore. But of course, it sounds more dramatic calling it Death Road and saying people die every year. It's mostly just a shaky road with steep hills next to it. Our hands felt really shaky, and we were actually pretty dead in the end, so... Since we were already in the high altitude, we figured why not just go even further at Mount Huayna Potosi. But do we have what it takes to reach the top?
Før dette så har jeg vært på nesten 5000, og det er bare dit vi skal i morgen, på 5-2. Hvis vi er virkelig heldige, så kommer vi helt opp på 6000.
Har du trua?
Ja.
Har du trua?
Ja. Bitte litt. Ups, ups, ups.
Dos amigos. The walk up to the second base wasn't really a problem. And the view from 5,200 meters was beautiful. We spent time to acclimatize even more and did a test walk on the glacier.
Svimmel, sliten, vondt I magen.
Don't know why, but our stomachs were not feeling the best. But we went to bed and got ready to start the hike towards the summit at 1 a.m. When we were ready, it started snowing even more. The summit in a snowstorm can be interesting. Nothing we had to worry about since Morten was lucky to get food poisoning on this trip, and 5,500 meters became our maximum. Only a few people made it to the summit this day. Morten made it down to the toilet and was fucking relieved.
Maybe you try it. Maybe you. Maybe you try it. Maybe you.
Even though we didn't make it to the summit, our visit to Bolivia was great and better than expected. People were super friendly, so many things to do that we had to skip some. Food is good and cheap, and the scenery is great. We were ready to get to the lower altitude though, so we don't have to breathe as heavy anymore.
Ok. Da kommer det seg. Nå er jeg sulten. Kan jeg spise?